Welcome. Happy New Year. This is the first Wednesday broadcast of Wisdom Wednesday podcast. Last Wednesday was actual January the 1st, and I decided to have everyone spend time with their family and friends, watch football. So this is my first broadcast or podcast for the 2025. I'm your host, Dr. Mary Segars. I want to welcome you to Wisdom Wednesday podcast. And again, Happy New Year 2025. Here we are, right? And before we get into the episode, you might have seen on some of the social media, we will talk for the entire month of January about our finances, making sure that our finances are right, tight in 2025. This is a good month, the first month of the year to make sure that happens. So we got to take care of all the finance business in the entire month. So we'll be coming on every Wednesday in January. Next week we'll be coming on the following week, and then there's 5 Wednesdays in this month. So we'll be covering the next 4 Wednesdays. And so let's get started. But you know the drill. Grab your coffee cup. Oh, I just love my husband fresh brewed coffee and join in on the conversation. Again, this is your host, Dr. Mary Segars, and I am excited about 2025. I have been claiming it to be an amazing, awesome year. And it can be for us, for all of us, right? If we just only believe. But we have to do some things too. We can believe it, proclaim it, pray about it, but we have to take action. I always say roll our sleeves up and get busy with taking care of business. And so I want to talk about being the CEO of your finances. I can remember when I was a little girl, my mother used to always say, when you spending your money, you are the boss. And so we're going to talk about being the CEO of your finances, right? And so I'm just thrilled because I'll kick it off with today. The next session, the next 2 sessions, I'll have a wonderful guest on, a dear friend of mine. She's a finance expert, Deneen Williams, and she'll come with her insight, her expertise to share how you can have your business goals obtained even in your personal life. And so we're going to just sit back, relax, and know that it's important that we take care of business with our money, right? And so let's start with the crucial topic about the importance of having your finance in order at the start of the year. We don't have to wait to tax time. We need to do it right now and right this moment, right? So I encourage you to take a notepad out, maybe a pen, and jot down some of these notes. I think it's going to be valuable. And as always, I've taken heed to this. I've been doing this for years now, and so I'm able to say that I feel pretty financial stable, but there's always room for improvement, right? Continuous improvement. I can do better. I can save more. I can invest better. And so that's what we are going to talk about today. So, talking about having a clear financial plan, directing your savings, or having making wise investments. I love Dave Ramsey. I've been following him for years. Had my granddaughter and grandson listen to him as well. You must be the CEO of your money, directing where it goes and how it's spent. And that's so true. My mom didn't say it quite like that, but she said, "You the boss of your money," which is the same reference that Dave Ramsey is making. And let me just say this, the budget isn't just a tool, it's really it's a roadmap to our financial freedom. It really is. Excuse me. We'll explore how planning, if you want to, for your business, if you plan for events, maybe you want to have webinars this year or seminars this year, how that's going to impact your spending and why it's essential to start with a solid plan. You know, that saying, if you fail to plan, you're going to plan to lose, right? So we got to have planning and strategy so we can make sure that we're on point and in the direction where we want it to go financially. So this week, like I said, we're going to talk about taking control, making informed decisions, and leading your financial with confidence and clarity. You don't have to question yourself. You don't have to scratch your head and say, did I do the right thing? And so here's some practical and usable steps to help you embody this powerful role in your life because you are the CEO of your money. You know, the Bible tells us he's given us power to get wealth. And so if we have the power to get wealth to increase his kingdom and to do the things that we are commanded to do as well in our lives, right? So number one, set clear financial goals, period. The Bible said, without a vision, people will perish. Because goals or a vision, you have to make sure you're defining what you want to achieve, whether it's saving for a dream vacation, investing in your business, or building an emergency fund. Make clear goals is the first step in directing your money effectively. You know, Christmas just passed, and I pray that people aren't still praying for Christmas. We know Christmas comes the same time every year. Easter comes pretty much the same time within a month or two, the same. Your birthday comes the same time every year. So you have to plan for those things and make sure that you allocate yourself for that. You know, I just mentioned Christmas. People are still paying all the way up to June of this year for what they've spent in Christmas. I think that's ludicrous. I think it's insane because we knew Christmas was coming in December. We could start in January, put so much money aside. It's nothing but $25 a month. I know that sounds small, but with compound interest, it could be extreme at the end of the year. And just leave that there just for your Christmas gifts or whatever. You got to plan. You got to plan ahead. Christmas is not going to hop over in June, but even though some people may still be paying for their Christmas stuff in June, it's just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so make sure you have clear financial goals from the beginning, starting in January. What do you want to do? Mentioning that I know Segars Consulting Group is sponsoring and having a global retreat over in London, England, and Paris, France. This was planned out last year in 2024. In fact, it was planned out like June of 2020. I started um, interviewing some travel agencies whose expertise is in the UK. I didn't want someone that didn't know the area that I want to go to. I've been to both of those places, but I want to take a group of authors. I want to take a group of speakers. I want to take a group of people who have had ministries so that they can experience their global experience. I always say our ministries or our business just not limited to our state or to our nation or to the United States. It's a global experience. And so I had to map out strategies. How will it cost? How will we get there? All of that. So, I mean, last year I was doing a lot of planning, a lot of strategizing. And I know it's not for everybody, and I understand that, but I know for those that can see the vision, that can plan forward and want to go global, they're going to participate. I think I have about 7 people actually signed up right now. So I'm excited. I'm trying to get at least 10 to 12 people. I don't want to take a big entourage, but I want enough people to experience that and to share that. But I had to plan that thing out. I mean, I had to have a clear financial goal about that plan. So I would see how much it's going to cost, even for my company to be able to sponsor that, to be able to do certain things. And so I'm excited. So, number two, create a budget. I can remember a budget was like a bad word. I didn't want to hear it, right? And so when I first got married, my husband always been very financially astute. And so he would take care of the budget, and it was like, fine. And then he said, Mary, no, if something happens to me, you need to be able to be informed. And so we started sharing the responsibility. Guess who got the full responsibility now? Okay, I do. And you know what? I love it. So we set a budget. I also learned how to do my company budget. So I worked with my CPA and we work our budget out, my budget out. No, Mary, you living really lofty right now. You got to streamline that budget because the funds coming in. So Dave Ramsey always say this, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went, right? And so your budget is your business plan for your business, for your finances, be it personal or professional. So outline your income. A lot of people don't even know how much they make, how much money is coming in. Hello. outline your expenses, and then prioritize where your money needs to go each month. I remember when I was young, my father used what we call the envelope system. And I guess we invested in a lot of envelopes back then because he would put the envelope when he got paid. It was cash money. It wasn't a card or anything. He had cash money. My dad didn't believe in credit cards. I think back then they were just coming into it. He said, "No, I'm paying cash. Cash is key, right?" But he would put money in for Detroit Edison. No, it wasn't DTE back then. He had the money for Detroit Edison, put it in there. And he even said, "Mary, after you get out of school, take this envelope and catch the bus and go out and pay the Detroit Edison bill. And I want to see the receipt." So he was teaching me even as a young age how to do a budget. And then you have money for the grocery. Then you have money for the children. Had money for mom. So he was doing what he was doing was creating a budget. And when no more money in the envelope, guess what? No more spending. He said until next week, right? And so he was allowing that budget, telling the money where to go and how to spend it. And it kept us on point too. It really did. Number three, track your spending. Keep a close eye on where your money is going. You'd be surprised how our money just slips out of our hands so quickly we didn't even realize it. Wait a minute. I know with this Cash App thing, my grandson would say, "Granny, can you please send me $20?" And then I send him $20. And I'm looking at my account. "Oh, what happened to my money?" "Oh, I sent my grandson $20." And so I had to keep an eye on it. I said, "We're going to tighten that ring because you got a job now. You're going to be keeping your own funds, right?" But this will help you identify areas where you can cut back and where you can save more. And there's so many apps out there now and tools available so that we can make it much, much easier instead of writing on paper and find out what works for you. And I encourage you to do that because you'd be surprised how we spend money without even thinking about it. I can remember when I started an investment club years ago and I invited my family members and friends. My family said, "What? I can't touch this money for 5 years. Oh, I don't want to be in no investment club. I want to spend my money." So I finally did go with like-minded people. It weren't wind out being about seven, oh, it was 10 of us, 10 women and like-minded. And we did pretty well. We did really well in our investment club. Shout out for our investment club. And so, but I asked them, and I encouraged them the very first month we started to keep a record. I gave them a little 3x5 notebook card thing. Write down everything that you spent because they were saying we were going to put like $20 a month for our investment club. $20, and then eventually went up to $50, and then eventually $100. But the thing is, we didn't know where our money was going, so I had them to keep a record of how much they were spending a day. And one lady said, "Wow, I could have easily joined the investment club because I'm spending $20 here and on food, and then I've spent $5 on Starbucks coffee." And so it was amazing when you track what you spend, you'll be amazed. Some of that is not necessary. Some of it is just spending to be spending. And nothing's wrong with that. But if you have a goal, you have a purpose, this is when you're just really doing a spotlight. What can not be spend if I don't have to spend it, right? So track your spending is another one. Number four, build an emergency fund. I'll say that again. Build an emergency fund. As CEO of your money, we must prepare for unexpected challenges, unexpected happenings, unplanned emergency. An emergency fund acts as a financial safety net that can help us navigate through a tough times without derailing our financial goals. That is crucial. I was following Dave Ramsey, and he said your first thing baby step number one was to develop a emergency fund of $1,000. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll just do $500. I see it immediately. I went to the $1,000. Why? Because things happen. A blowout tire, your car stopped, someone needs some money that they're going to pay you back, but they were just short or whatever. In fact, a real life case, I had a dear friend, a real close friend. She's like a sister to me, and an emergency happened in her life, and she used up her emergency fund. And she said, "Mary, I normally don't like asking anybody, but do you have X amount of money that, and I'll pay you back in a couple of weeks. And I said, you know, I do have an emergency, son, for my emergency. I didn't want to be selfish. And so I said yes. And so I was able to not mess up my financial plans or my budget, my goal, because it was set aside over here for emergency or for challenges or unexpected things. And of course, if she returned it, I was putting it right back in that account. I didn't put it back in the mix with my other money. You don't want to intermix all of that. If that's an emergency fund, leave that emergency there because I can promise you this in 2025 and any years after that, there will be things that come up that you didn't plan for, you didn't expect, called as emergencies. And so you always want to have that little stash over there just in case. I'd rather have it when I need it or not to have it and beg and borrow when you do need it. So set up an emergency. It doesn't have to be whatever it is. You know, it could be $500. It could be $750. It could be $2,000. Whatever you feel that you need to keep just as a safety net, because we don't know what's going to happen in the months to come, the years to come. And it's a shame that we work all of our lives, we save all of our lives, and we don't have an emergency fund. That shouldn't be. You know, in 2025, make that a plan to have an emergency fund. My husband used to throw that in my head all the time, emergency. Man. Okay, okay, okay. But he knew and he understood that because like I say, he's always been very financially astute and always look ahead and plan. I'm looking for today or tomorrow. He's looking down the way. So we do have an emergency fund, thank God, and make it liquidity to make it so you can be able to get to it quickly if you need the cash. Number five, invest in your future. Let me say that again. Invest in your future. So many times we're looking out for our children, which is proper thing to do. Look out for our grandchildren, which is a great thing to do. But look into your future, um, look into investments, options that align with your risk tolerance and your financial goals. In other words, I always say this, make your money grow, make your money work for you, make your money work. I think of that scripture where it says, uh, and all your labor, in other words, what you invest in, what you learn about, let that money profit itself, that you will have a return on your investment. And so that way, when you invest in yourself, whether it's stocks, it could be real estate, it could be bonds, it could be a retirement accounts, it could be Roth, IRAs, whatever, because we can't depend on the government. We don't know how long Social Security is going to last. We don't know, how long anything's going to last. But we know if we trust God and be able to do some of the things that we need to do that's going to keep us long-term jeopardy as for our legacy as well. So investing is a way to make your money work for you. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. A lot of companies, they used to offer some type of plan. If they don't, you start your own plan. Stop depending on someone else to make your financial goals a reality. We're looking at the individual in the mirror, which is ourselves, and say, you know what? I'm going to be responsible for my financial security. I'm going to be responsible for my financial stability. I'm going to be responsible for my financial goals. No ifs and buts about it. And so number five was invest in your future, learn, and then number six kind of go hand in hand with that. Educate yourself. Stay informed about financial management and investment strategies. Well, you say, Dr. Mary, I don't understand all that. Okay, read books, ask questions, hire an expert. That's all they do. Listen to podcasts, attend seminars. Knowledge is power when it's applied. So if you learn that if you take $25 a month or whatever it is, I'm just using this as an example, excuse me, to put it in Nike stock. You're buying on average, this because Nike stock might be $125 a stock, but you want to just put $25 a month. You're buying at least a portion of that, and then next month you do it again, and you do it. And next thing you know, you own one stock of Nike or whatever it is. At least you're allowing yourself to learn the system ask questions, read books. There's so many seminars out there. There's so many podcasts out there. There's so many experts out there. So now we had to pay for our knowledge that we need to know about. Investment, educate yourself. You have to keep yourself abreast of what's going on. Don't let your money just sit in the bank while they're utilizing our funds, and yet they're making money off our money while they're borrowing, sending it to someone else, lending it to someone else, and charging interest on it. Let us be able to learn how to make our money work for us and to grow. So educate ourselves. And then the seventh point I want to talk about is review and adjust regularly. Your financial situation and goals may change and fluctuate. You know, I know we were saving a college fund for my grandson. And he opted to stay out a year to determine what he wanted. He's a 17-year-old kid. He graduated when he was 17. He didn't know what he wanted to do. He said, well, let me see. So he tried some little odd jobs. No, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so now he's kind of fine tuning what he wants to do. He does have a very good job. God blessed him to have a job with benefits and all of that. I'm so excited for him. But I believe he's going to start taking some classes as where his interest is. And so that funds, even though it's right there waiting for him to tap into it, he'll be able to use that. So things change. You know, I thought we were going to get it right when he graduated, but he wanted to take a break from, they call it a leap year, whatever he called it. But he's able to find what he wants to do and where he want to be in his life. Amen. He may be out of state. So, but that fund will follow him wherever he wants to go. We did that when he was yet a baby. And so now it's developed up until he's ready to use it now. So, it's changed. It's important to review your budget and to review your financial goals regularly. I don't want to say every day, but maybe quarterly. You can check, there's some changes going on now. I don't want to, do this. I don't want to go on this vacation. I don't want to go here now. I'm going to save that money I save for vacation. I'm going to switch it over to my business, whatever. So review those things and make adjustments as needed. But I can promise you this, by following these steps, you are not just managing your money, you're leading it towards your desired future. Remember, being the CEO of your money means being proactive, informed, and strategic. So let's make 2025 the year that you take full control of your finances and see the fruit of your labor by year's end. I promise you that will happen. I tell you, it's going to be awesome. So, can I encourage you to join me next week? I have my guest on, Deneen Williams. She's going to share some real life experiences about how her business was able to leap off and take off by being financially astute and making sure she's holding herself accountable to her financial goals. And don't we want to do that in 20? We don't want this year to be the same like it was last year or 2 years ago or back when we were in the pandemic. Let's make a difference. And it starts with you and I. What I'm sharing with you, I apply these same things. I'm telling you, sometimes I have to say ouch, but hallelujah, right? Because I want to see my goals fulfilled, my financial goals fulfilled. And when you have your financial goals intact and manifested, then those other goals will be in alignment. Why? Because the money's right, the money's straight, the money's good to go. And you'll be able to say, yes, I can do all things through Christ who's going to strengthen me. So we're going to be rolling up our sleeves a lot this year. I just sense that because 2025 is no joke. Either we're going to be real or sit down somewhere and just get out of the way for those that want to be real. And so let's make sure we started right with our money. Make sure our money is not telling us what to do, but we telling our money where to go and what to do. So that means just keeping it real. Don't live beyond your means. We're not trying to impress nobody but God. We're going to be only one we're pleasing this year is God. And God say, I'm comfortable with you. You be content where you are right now. It's the season that you're in right now. That's fine. But so many times, I know, I know. And so we just got to really keep it real. I'm always the one to say, it's not about what nobody else say, as long as I'm pleasing to God. Everybody else gonna have to fall in line because my number one goal is to please God in my life. And that means making sure my money's right. I'm gonna be a good steward of the money He's blessed me with so that He can entrust me with more money. Come on now. And so I'm paying my tithes, I'm giving to the poor, I'm helping, I'm making sure that my bills are paid, and I live in the black. I don't live in the red, okay? Because the red is showing that we're some kind of deficit, something's going on, right? And so we got to make sure that we just be good stewards of the money God's given us. I don't want it to be said that it's like holes in our pockets, the money just slipping out and going this way and that way. But we can be diligent and we could have good times and enjoy, by being financially astute. That's it. And so with that, I don't mean to rant on. I'm just excited because the finances, getting our money straight, beginning of the year is going to help us when March come and when June come and then when August come and then when September we're going to London, England. And then when Christmas comes again, we can say, yes, this has been awesome, an amazing, epic year because I got my money right. I got my money straight. It might have been a little tight, but it's right. Be blessed, and we'll see you next week, right here on Wisdom Wednesday podcast. Bye for now.